Hi, welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to show you how to do the Chinese chicken curry recipe out of our curry club book. Hiya, well what you're going to need is some chicken breast. It says in the recipe that they ask for 4 chicken breasts, but we've just got 2 large chicken breasts there.
It's 500 grams, isn't it?
500 grams, all the fat removed and chopped into small bite-sized pieces. So we've got that. We've got 2 brown onions cut into chunky pieces, which it says in the recipe to do. So we've got that. We've got 2 very large carrots. We've peeled those, basically took the outside off, cut them straight down the middle and chopped into chunks. So there's that. This I don't think is in the recipe, but there's some extra vegetables that basically...
Always good for slimming mode. Yeah,
always good. And we try and... the more speed vegetables and stuff we pack our recipes out with, the better weight losses you should have. We've got some mushrooms.
If I don't eat them all, there's some mushrooms.
about 6 mushrooms. We've got there chopped into quarters. So I've got those.
Well, that's not in the book either, is it?
That's not in the book, but like I say, I always imagine chicken curry to have
mushrooms in.
Onions and mushrooms and stuff in there. So if you go to a Chinese shop and get a curry, normally it will have mushrooms and peas and other stuff in. So this recipe has broccoli in it. It does say we took the florets off, and I have then cut them in half to help them cook a little bit quicker than just leaving them whole florets. It says in the recipe to have 2 centimeters of ginger. If you can't be bothered to do that, well, like sometimes we can't, we've got a ginger paste. So I'll be using a level teaspoon of that, which is very strong. So you only need a very small amount of that. So that's what we're going to be using in ours instead of chopping it up and grating our ginger up.
I think this came from Morrison's, but it is on a yellow sticker. Yeah. Oh, we like a yellow sticker. That's really gingery.
So this is the first time we've opened this jar, so once we open it, it will be going in the fridge.
Yep.
So to keep that. You can use normal garlic cloves, but we have got the garlic paste, which does make life easier. We open it up, keep it in the fridge, and it's just there for whenever you want to use that. So we'll be using about a level teaspoon of that. 500 mils of stock. I have got vegetable stock there, but if you, like I say, only because we've run out of chicken stock at home. We've got a teaspoon of turmeric, which we've got here, and 2 star anise. 2 teaspoons of curry powder. You can either use mild, I mean this is hot curry powder, but it doesn't, for the one that we normally have, it doesn't actually seem that hot. 1 teaspoon of corn flour, then mixed with 2 teaspoons of water, which is obviously, once I've got all the ingredients in and everything on the go, this is going to be then thicken up the sauce, and then to let it cook down afterwards, and then obviously it will, you give it about half an hour to cook. And then by that time it should all be thickened up and ready to eat.
If you can hear slurping, I'm just having a Pepsi Max with ginger, and we've got ginger in the curry. And you know me, I'm quite partial to a ginger, aren't I, love?
Yes, dear.
Yes. Not saying anything, but I'm quite partial to a ginger.
And also, we always say we don't use normal oil; we use fry light, which we use for everything. So we always use that every day. So other than that, we are all ready to go, get started. So we'll use a bit of fry light in the pan, a few squirts of that. That's enough, you don't need to add any more than that really. To start with, we'll put our onions in, and we need to sweat and stir fry for a few minutes our onions, our broccoli,
there you go.
Turn that up.
Now you've cheated slightly with the carrots.
I have. Usually, like I say, the broccoli will cook fairly quick, but if I tried to sweat those and cook, stir fry these the same time that I'm going to stir fry those, the carrots will still be hard inside, whereas the broccoli will be a bit more cooked. So I did steam the carrots for maybe 3 or 4 minutes or so on, obviously once the steamer have come up to boiling. So yeah, I did that to kind
They're
of
not cooked through, are they?
No,
They're just,
to give them
a little bit soft.
yeah, to give them a head start. Okay, we've got the beans I'll put in. So there's that. Mushrooms, once I get the mushrooms on, they actually won't take that long, the mushrooms. So I'm not too worried about putting those in straight away, and give these a chance to cook first.
So we've just sweated it off for about 5 minutes, haven't you?
I added the carrots are in there. So it's been sweating now for a few minutes.
And all you've done is just keep moving it around in the pan.
That's it, keep stirring it around so it doesn't stick. Just as if you would do a normal stir fry. So that's, like I say, that's all nicely sweated down now, that lot. I'm going to add the mushrooms that I've got there. I'm going to add those. And I'm also going to add my garlic paste as well. It's probably about look like about 1.5 teaspoons of paste, and that was the last of my garlic paste there. So that's gone. If you, like I say, if you don't like garlic too much, you don't have to put an awful lot of garlic in, so you can put it into your taste. But I wouldn't put an awful lot of the ginger in. The ginger, if you better pass me a teaspoon, it will be very strong, the ginger. Say, I love garlic, so... But
we like garlic.
I wouldn't put any more...
Keeps the vampires at bay, doesn't it, love?
Yeah, I wouldn't put any more than, I'd say, what would be a straight teaspoon, if you can see how much I've put in there.
Hang on. There you go.
You can see how much that is. It's, like I say, a little does go a long way, and...
I know, but I love a little ginger.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of ginger there. I wouldn't eat all that.
No, but I love a little ginger.
Yeah. Okay, so we'll mix these mushrooms in. If you put, sometimes as well, if I put the garlic in too early, and you've got a nice hot pan on, and you're trying to stir fry the other vegetables, sometimes you will find it will burn.
Yeah, you can burn garlic.
So you can burn the garlic, so that's why I've added the garlic.
You can smell it sometimes if you go into a restaurant when they've burnt the garlic. It's horrible.
And as well, this recipe does say to put all your veg and your garlic and everything in, but like I say, if I added it too early, I didn't fancy having burnt garlic, so...
No.
So we've got the ginger in there, so there's all our vegetables in there. You can smell the ginger now. The other spices go in after I've popped the chicken in, the stock in, and then the spices will go in, and then it's then to be left for 25 to 30 minutes to simmer, bring to the boil, simmer, leave it on low, and then in 25 minutes it should be all done then. I lost one mushroom. Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no. I think we need to get bigger pots.
Probably.
Yeah. It does smell quite nice now.
It smells gorgeous. That's the ginger, isn't it?
Yeah,
that's gone in.
that's the ginger and garlic in. So that's good. Right, so we don't need any more ginger in there. We've got our chicken to add
yummy.
to that in a minute. Got
That is the ginger you can smell. Well, I'm saying that they can smell it. You can't smell it on the camera, unfortunately, but it is. Oh, that's yummy!
It smells really nice.
This is a really good. This was a good choice of. A good choice of recipe.
The recipes.
I know.
So we don't do tons of recipes, out of these books, but the odd one we do during the week. I mean, every week we will have a chili con carne, and we will have we do roast chicken and stuff during the week, and maybe a chicken curry, because the easy chicken curry recipe is a really nice recipe as well. We like that one a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's all. Like I say, the mushrooms, you see how quick they're sort of cooked. They're you know, they cook so much quicker than the other stuff that I put in. We will add our chicken, and this recipe does say to add the chicken after you've sweated the main bits of vegetables off. You add your chicken, and then you add your stock and everything, and then that's why you let it all simmer to just make sure all the chicken and everything's all cooked all the way through.
Yeah, it's important with chicken, isn't it? It's got to be cooked
so
through.
some recipes say, you know, to sweat all your chicken and it, like, you know, to pan fry it, and then do all your other vegetables and other stuff. But this one, it's a bit, well, back to front, I think, a little bit. But like I say, you know, you're making sure all the stuff, the rest of the ingredients will be fully cooked through by adding your stock and your spices. Okay, so I've mixed all that in really well. Then we've got our, let's see, we've got our curry powder.
It does say it serves 4
Yeah,
people, but
it does.
we're serving 3, aren't we?
But
With this, but
I'll
3
say,
good sized
we'll
portions.
probably, because of the extra vegetables we'll put in, it will serve probably for at least 4 people, I'd say, with the amount of veg we're putting in. But bear in mind as well, on an SP day, yes, you could eat it just as it is afterwards, but
So is that the 2 teaspoons of
2
curry powder?
teaspoons, yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of curry powder.
But
looks like.
you can also add, like I say, for what we've got, afterwards we will put it on maybe, I don't know, a bed of leeks, a bed of greenery with stir fried, or cauliflower rice or something like that. We won't, you know, we don't
some leeks
normally,
for a change,
occasionally we will have it like that. But then I thought, once we figured out obviously this cauliflower rice and stir frying that and then having that on the bottom instead of rice, I then realised that any greenery, any sort of greens at all, you can do it with anything. You can do it with spinach, you can do it with leeks, and just shred, shred it up. You can do it with kale, you can do it with anything that you like. It was really nice. I used the shredded down courgette, which was really nice, and then I put some sliced leek in, really small sliced bits of chopped up leeks that I sweated into, and it was really nice.
I'll say we'll have it with some kale, a bed of kale and some kale and leek, then that'd be nice.
So I'll just fold these spices into it. So there's that. This is my vegetable stock. Like I say, normally I would have put chicken stock in it, but I didn't have any today. So I normally have a ton of vegetable stock cubes in the cupboard, so I won't be able to tell the difference in the taste. But like I say, some people might, but I can't when I'm putting stock, because normally I will use stock cubes just for seasoning anyway, just to make sure there's enough salt and stuff in it, rather than adding extra salt.
You prefer adding the stock cubes, don't you?
I
It
do.
gives you a better flavour.
Yeah. Gives a much nicer flavour, I think, than just adding salt and pepper.
Put that in the recycle, put that in the wash.
Okay, so I've put my stock in there. I will just turn the heat up just to bring it up to boil. I had
So what's the corn flour for? Because I don't really understand corn flour.
It is just to thicken up the sauce that I have there. Okay, so we've got this.
Oops.
And basically all I'm going to do is just drizzle that over the top. See, now it's coming up, it's bubbling nicely. Make sure you scrape all of this out. I mean, it was quite thick even though before I've even put that in there, but like I say, it will cook down and it will thicken slowly within the time, like I say, it's going to simmer away now until done. So the sauce in there will cook down a little bit and evaporate a little bit, so it will get thicker.
Yep. Okay, so that's going to simmer for how long?
So that's, like I say, it's
about
still
20
bubbling
minutes?
away at the minute, so I am going to turn the heat down because you don't want to leave it bubbling away because it will burn if you just leave it on high. So we'll turn this right down. We're going to leave it for 20 to 25 minutes. I will check it shortly. I won't just leave it I'm not just going to walk away and leave it for 25 minutes. I'm going to pop back and check it and maybe just give it the odd little turn and stir it. But other than that, it should all be done in 25 minutes. So
cool.
we'll
Fantastic.
be back.
So we're just doing a bed of the kale and leek. See, maybe there's a gap in the market for a Slimming World takeaway shop.
Possibly.
I'd order from there if there was. If we could get all this stuff made for us.
I don't see why there isn't one.
I know.
But you probably couldn't call it that though.
No, we'd have to call it.
They'd sue you.
Oh, you can't call it Slim Zone either. Although they are back in the shops,
Yeah,
they
they
are
are.
back in Asda. Although there's
are.
no mention of Extra Easy or
but
Slimming
we
World,
kept looking for them in there.
and they
But
are back now,
They are back.
which is interesting.
Actually, that's that. There's someone running with my feet.
There is. Elvie can smell dinner.
Yeah.
Elvie, out the kitchen.
She
Go on,
loves
out the kitchen.
Slimming World. She loves it.
She loves food, like us.
Okay, so
Now we were planning to have this with the cauliflower rice, but then the bed of greens is just as nice, isn't it?
yeah.
So as you can see, there's enough there for a good takeaway portion. And we've got some rice to go with Fligs, so for him.
So there is definitely enough for 4 people.
Yeah, there's enough for 4, easily.
But we have added, like I say, added the extra vegetables to it, so there's another portion there. So yeah.
So there we go.
So there we go, that's what we're having for our dinner. If you like this video, if you can give us a thumbs up, that'd be great. If there's anything you want to know or you got any tips, you can leave them in the comments below. And yes dear. And always
Happy
Happy
slimming! You thirsty, dear?
yeah.
That's because of all that sweaty cooking. There you go. One for you, one for you. I'll stick that back on the fridge. Oh, yummy, yummy, yummy. I'm starving.